Namaste, ambassadors, and welcome to Soul Horoscope SuperScope Weekly Report. My name is Witecki. I'm your Sensei to Sirius Joy, and I am so grateful to be back on the air. Pardon my absence. I was kind of changing into a butterfly, actually, and also facing some crazy moths. It's pretty crazy, actually. Hope you've been doing a little better. It's been an intense time, has it not? Now, this is a SuperScope because it's designed to serve more than one personality. If you're a Gemini or a Gemini Rising, or if you have Venus in Gemini, all three will apply to you. I call you the Step 5 personalities. And forgive me, the time I was off the air was your birthday period when the sun was in Gemini, so I'll have to catch you next year. I apologize for that one. But in that time, you were focused on building new ego, new strength, and new identity. And right at the end of that Gemini birthday period, Mercury, your home planet, goes retrograde. So we are still in a retrograde as I tape this Soul Horoscope, but Mercury will go direct July 2nd, and that means you'll be still kind of answering some questions about who you are and who you're not, the standard birthday things. But now with the sun in Cancer, the focus is soul capital. That is the potential for manifestation, making money, your self-esteem, what you're worth, all the above, and abundance, to use that spiritual word. So we're moving into Chapter 2 this week of the Sun in Cancer. That means you're going to be working on your production ability, your ability to manifest and produce. This might be a play, this might be a book, this might be anything, but it's time to be productive for Geminis and Gemini Risings. And this time to be productive is a big one. Jupiter moved into this sector a year ago. So the universe was saying, hey, time for Geminis to raise their prices, grow up, learn how to fish, all those sorts of things. And really, we have the last 6 weeks of that transit right now, starting right now. And I actually think because Geminis tend to procrastinate out of nervousness, you've probably put off most of the lesson till this last 6 weeks. Just saying. That's because I got a son who's Gemini and I'm monitoring the progress up close and personal. Now, that said, what's going on this week? Well, for starters, the sun moves from Step 7 to Step 14, so you will decide what you're worth and go for it. Something will push you to go for it this week, and you'll have to decide first. The sun is opposing Pluto, so as you are trying to raise prices, you are at the other side having to get over fears, having to get over issues of worry about limits, having to get over intimacy issues. So there's a lot of dynamic back and forth there. The sun is also squaring Aries, so this means that your ability to move forward with new prices might be held up by fears around who you are or who you're not in society. So you might be still afraid that who am I to claim to be worth this much and that sort of thing. The good news, like I said, is Mercury goes direct. That means the Gemini twins switch places. The inside voice becomes the outside becomes the inside. That's basically what a retrograde is to a Gemini. The other twin takes over. So the other twin comes back on Wednesday, July 2nd, and that means you move forward again with the ego consciousness. Mercury is at 24 degrees Gemini, so it is kind of going to think through the last touches of what you are and what you're not. You'll be doing some more identity thinking here before Mercury goes into Cancer and changes focus. Now, Venus also moves into Gemini, which means that you will start to create and beautify. And you'll be creating and beautifying here for a full month or so. So enjoy it. Time to raise your beauty. And this is for ego's sake. You get it once in a while. So shallow for shallow's sake. Beauty is skin deep. Well, this is the skin deep when Venus is in your first house. So you are planting seeds. You're also planting seeds maybe to a new character, a new persona, or a new way for the public to see you. And then lastly, the Mars male ego finally takes the lead in its opposition to Uranus. So we had this tug of war going on forever. I'm going to show you more on that here in just a minute. But Mars takes the lead, and this means that you'll finally go with your heart first over what society thinks. So you've been back and forth and not with your heart. And I don't know, will the world like me? And well, finally this week it'll be like, screw it. I'm just going with what my heart wants. And Mars is going to take the lead there, leaving the world's opinion behind a bit and alone to kind of like self-regulate, which is okay. It should all be led by your heart anyways. Okay, so this is my first little chapter. I have a new cool little section of the SuperScopes called the Sirius Joy Farm. So let's hop over and take a look about what I mean. Howdy, welcome to my Sirius Joy Farm. Seriously, this is my new architecture for Sirius Joy. It may look silly, but it's actually a lot of research, a lot of time in my life, Mercury retrograde. And what it represents is the pathway to Sirius Joy. Now this is pretty like a flower, but it's strong like a tree. Let me show you. On the left are all the states of awareness we must approach seriously in life. And on the right are all the states we must approach joyfully. And at the bottom are the root structure of Sirius Joy. At the top is the branches that support our joy. At the top we have our mirage to ourself and our ego character. Those are the two parts that hold up your joy. A strong mirage and a strong character. And mirages lead to relationships with others. And so do ego character, frankly. They both lead to support from the outside world. Now, that said, where are the Geminis and the Gemini Risings as far as where is the consciousness in this Sirius Joy tree this month? And here you go. It starts with God. So the sun in Cancer is, or God, is putting energy on you manifesting abundance, the ability to material wealth, raising your self-esteem, the ability to manifest. That's where the God energy is. But it's not just God, it's also Jupiter. And it's been Jupiter for a full year. So this is why there's a lot of investment, a lot of serious investment in Geminis and Gemini Risings to increase their ability to manifest. Now, this is what I call light casting. Light casting is where we put our love and we hold space and then it manifests. When you're light casting something, you always end up manifesting by default on the other side, represented by Earth. Man, right there. So Geminis and Gemini Risings are, it's kind of inside out because you are creating new manifestation ability is what you're creating. But what you're manifesting are new boundaries, new limits, new ways of expressing yourself, and new capabilities of intimacy. In fact, there's another planet that pretty much describes your sex and intimacy. Pluto. Pluto's been putting energy to kill off the old comfort zones for a long time, since about 2009. So as you can see, this is a very big, heavy teeter-totter between two big areas of our life. This is not just any old month. And Jupiter is going to leave after this, so this is the final hour of you raising your prices and raising your self-esteem. And by focusing on that, you will by default create and destroy trust issues, intimacy issues, and boundary issues. Now there's two more planets that rave kind of some havoc in this equation. One is macho, masculine Mars, all right, which is focused on love, self-love, and loving the world. So there's a lot of macho energy pushing on Geminis to get out there, fall in love, find your creativity, find your inner artist, express your inner child. And on the opposite side of that is Uranus. Okay? So Uranus has been havocing at your individuality. And individuality comes down to who you are in the world. Do people like you? Your social reputation. So you have been fighting between loving yourself and trying to be an individual and not get gobbled up in the world. And those two have been fighting manifestation versus boundaries. Trying to create things and manifest, and where do you draw the line? And this whole grand square, as we call it, or grand cross, really breaks free this month as the sun makes up its final decisions, or as Gemini, as you make up and decide what you're worth, you're going to free up your boundaries, your individuality, and your self-love capability. And that, of course, allows the Sirius Joy to flow upward. So there's also a grand trine I want to point out that's important and powerful under the seams. I got to make you hear the Mars sound there. Sorry about that. Things are breaking. And it's really between the sun in the house of manifestation, Saturn, the Sirius Saturn, which is focused on health and lifestyle, or the practice part of us. We have to always practice, 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 practice. And Saturn is making you grow up about your practice, get stronger about your practice, get more responsible about your craft. And so Saturn has been putting that pressure on. It's retrograde right now, but it's been putting a lot of pressure on Gemini, Gemini Risings. And as you can see, holding up the Sirius Joy tree. The third element is Neptune, which is Neptune Jesus there. Jesus, Neptune, same energy. It is the self-compassion, psychic energy, and it is on career and decisions. So what this grand trine is, this is a triangle of energy that's flowing well between the planets. It allows you to grow very quickly and to manifest more. But as you can see, in order to manifest more, you have to be serious and focused or responsible with your practice. And you have to be compassionate with all of your decisions. In other words, there are no wrong decisions. It's okay. You're doing the best you can. You're not going to put expectation on yourself. You're not going to worry the twin processors. You're just going to be self-nurturing and self-compassionate when it comes to your decision making and therefore careers. That's the secret sauce, I believe. Now, what about love? That's the big question. You are love. Where is Venus in this equation? Venus is in the house of ego, which means that Geminis and Gemini Risings are in a great place for love right now. You are a shiny penny. You got beautiful Venus right there in the house of ego, which is the way we look, our prettiness, our hotness, our sport. And on top of that, you don't just have Venus, you have recently Mercury retrograde. That's Freddie Mercury retrograde there. Whenever Mercury's retrograde, you'll see a Freddie. So Mercury's gone Freddie, but July 2nd, Mercury goes direct. However, this means your home planet in your own sign, and this means that you have a lot of energy to rethink yourself, rethink your responses, and to beautify yourself. And from a love perspective, it's usually in this beautification feeling that a lot of my clients actually draw in potential for love or draw in love. So, to sum up and underscore, Geminis and Gemini Risings are prone to meet people right now because they're sparkly with Venus up there, and they're pretty sharp with Freddie Mercury, even when Freddie goes direct there. And that is, in essence, what's going on with love. So coming up next, I've got a little surprise for you, and then our standard wrap-up after this. Couple of pieces of information I want you to know. For one, cool news, the Megascope monthly reports now are available for online rental. You don't have to download them. They play on every device, and we host them on soulmart.me all month long. There's also variable rates if you want 1 day or 1 week or 1 month. I'm really trying to make this flexible for everyone. Also, I want to tell you, I added Jupiter Gets Emotional to the Megascope stream. So if you already rented, go back to Soulmart. There's an extra video there. It's going to help you through that 6-week transition we were talking about. Available for all 12 signs. Another thing, I got a cool teaching series coming out this summer I'm so excited about. It's called So You Want to Be an Astrologer, eh? Well, it's really designed for people who want to professionally be an astrologer, or if you want to use astrology in your given vocation. So as teachers, as leaders, as directors, whatever it is. Even in college when I directed TV and film, I used astrology with my characters, and it made my characters so much richer because astrology answers so many of the questions. Come on down to soulmart.me, see all the great courses. I have the Architecture of Incarnation. I've got the Art of Reading People. That's a fabulous course. It talks about psychic ability as well. Come see it. You're going to like it. Then I've got another exciting announcement for those who like this special. Buy 1 hour reading right now. You get a 30-minute follow-up for free this year with me. This is an excellent package deal for people who've never had a reading with me because you get twice in the same year. You really see proven results. Read my little comments under there or people's testimonials. This is my greatest talent. And I'm also the funniest in readings too, seriously. So come on down and see that. Couple of things we ask you. Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. We do appreciate that. If you're on Facebook, you can like us by navigating to soulgarden.me, and it'll take you straight there. And if you want to be in our email list, come to soulmart.me. There's a link there for that. Don't forget, we got the new mothership coming out on Tuesday. Super excited about that. All right, my dear friend, thank you so much for logging in and your patience with me. I'll see you in 7 days, and I really mean it. Until then, live, love, be.